Okay, let's get started.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, are we ready for the next question from the flywheel?
We're ready. We are ready.
What's your favorite dish?
See, that's hard, because if Laura cooks, it's not just about the food that we're eating. It is, see, if I cook, it's just purely for fuel. I will eat the same thing 50 times a day for 50 days, and I'll just love it. But the great thing about Laura is whenever she cooks, it's an experience. Like there's a first course, there's another course. So what are we having today? So we're having this falafel bake, and oh, don't get me started. We had a mushroom pie the other day, which was just mushroom and leek. Yeah, the falafel bake, it's got a lot of sides, and there's a soup starter. It's just like, oh.
Wow. Lucky you.
So to name a few, if I name a favorite, this falafel is probably a main favorite. This falafel bake. I can't remember where she got. It might be Jamie Oliver's in the veg book there. But if I think about a sweet that I like, I actually worked out one for myself where, you know, the coconut cream, the AYAM cans, the green can, coconut cream. Anyway, you can get it at Coles and Woolies. One of those tins with a cup of chia seeds and two tins of that water, filled with water. And then just get a, what do you call those things? A stirrer, whatever. You could call it a spoon. You can use it a spoon if you, a whisk. That's what I wanted. A whisk. I was getting there. It's my process. Anyway, so, and then you just whisk that up, and you can put, I know one of my friends, after telling her, she puts in a couple of drops of orange essential oil, but you can put in some stevia as well. But you stir that up, and that actually becomes quite thick. And you can have that with berries, some dark chocolate, and it is, again, you learn very quickly not to overeat that because it's quite filling. But that's one of my favorite desserts. And there's plenty more. I do an avocado mousse as well, chocolate mousse, which is amazing.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah. That's an easy one. So one ripe avocado, half a tin of chickpeas, and coconut cream, and then just blend her up, and it just turns into this fat-filled deliciousness. And you just put some stevia in it as well while you're doing, and that's as easy as that. Very, very filling. So just small serves. But you can put a side of berries or something, blueberries with it, and some dark chocolate, or put some cacao nibs in it, or some nuts, handful of nuts. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty special. That's pretty special. Knocks any craving on the head, and yeah, it'll keep you going for ages.
Thank you for sharing that. And while we're on that subject, I'll share one of my newest creations with you as well. You may like this.
All right. I'm listening.
So for shooting my Age of the Plants video series, I'm up to episode K. So each series, I find a plant that starts with that letter. And then I try to look for super plants that I haven't heard of before as well. And then so I'm shooting up to letter K. And then a new plant I discovered like just 2 weeks ago is kuzu. So it's a root.
Okay. I haven't heard.
It's actually like it dates back to Chinese medicine. So it's got medicinal properties. But we can actually use the kuzu, it's actually the root of a tree. The powder of it, like it acts like a thickener, but it's actually alkaline in nature. So it's a lot healthier than the other type of thickeners out there, like cornstarch or potato starch, where there's a lot of chemicals in it. So if you use that, you can use it in savory dishes. to turn it into gravies and stuff, or you can use it in desserts. And when you use it in desserts, because it's alkaline in nature, the desserts become more alkaline based rather than acidic desserts. So yesterday I tried it with just the kuzu powder with cacao powder. And then I added almond milk in it. And then just like a bit of agave, and you have to heat it up and so it'll thicken. And then it'll turn into this chocolate pudding, chocolate mousse thing. But because there's no oil or anything, the only thing that's probably a bit heavy is the almond milk. And it's so light. So after I had like a whole bowl, because I was doing it for the video shooting, I did not feel sick at all or heaviness at all. In fact, I could feel it helping me digest my stomach.
Right.
Because it has that property. It actually has properties that will help with your stomach indigestions and things like that. So it was like a super healthy, like, dessert, chocolate mousse pudding. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you can try that instead of the avocado.
How do you spell it? How do you spell it?
Kuzu.
It's Kuzu.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know when the video's out. It'll come out next week. But, oh, my God, I'm in love with it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Add it to the list. Add it to your toolkit.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Okay, ready?
What would you tell the 6-year-old you to eat? Now you know this lifestyle you're in.
Wow, man, as a kid, I was a big kid. I grew very quickly. I was sort of a relatively normal-sized baby, but I'd pretty much grown to full size by the time I was about 13, I think, 14, 15, something like that. So as a kid, we'd make our own breakfast. So I'd have a first breakfast and a second breakfast. My first breakfast would be basically a half a packet of Weet-Bix and half a bottle of milk. And then my second breakfast would be a tin of baked beans and four eggs and 4 slices of toast, and yeah, I could eat. So I don't know whether that would have been 6 years old. Maybe I was a little older, but man, I could put away some food. And I think from the learnings that I've had and how I feel now, and I guess the pain that I went through as a kid as well, not realizing the stuff, the food that I was eating was causing me cramps, stomach upsets. If I look back and tell them now, I'd tell them not to eat bread that's not made and dated on the date that it's made. I would say to remove dairy. I would say to remove meat. Eat as much as you want of the other stuff. Eggs, more water. Yeah. I think from my point of view, and knowing what I know now, I think probably bread and dairy were big factors. And what I've learnt is a lot of those things actually inside your body become mimickers of certain hormones, and I had problems with high estrogen levels and low testosterone levels, which now I know have probably led to all my issues that I've had to date, or my little couple of interjections with the medical fraternity. Yeah.
Wow. And thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to twist the question a bit as well, because your background is, you said you're also a paramedic.
Yes.
What would you share now knowing what you know, like after becoming healthy and plant-based, what would be your advice to the paramedics out there or the people in the medical fields out there? What would you recommend to eat?
Yeah, getting used to shift work is not something you could ever do, though you can do what you can. You can do the best with what you've got. And for me, I think I've noticed, I've been a paramedic almost 15 years now, or 15 years. So I've only been plant-based a couple of years. So in the lead up to that, I've realized things like our circadian rhythm as well. We're not meant to eat at night. we're meant to be eating during the day at certain times. We're meant to have certain amounts of rest and all these sorts of things. But with regards to food, I've noticed that with the digestion and my energy levels, and I've been able to listen to my body a little more. So fellow shift workers, paramedics, police, fireys, geez, anyone who does shift work. I've done shift work most of my life. Small meals. I find that plant-based actually helps because of the digestion side of things. I think it takes less digestion. I believe you're full as well for longer. Greens type drinks during your night shifts. Taking your little naps. A little nap can be priceless for a night shift. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to sit down and you got this thought that you need to get 5 hours or 6 hours. You might have to break that up because there's stuff you need to do. You might need to have a half-hour nap, do some stuff until you get tired, have another half-hour nap, do some stuff until you get tired, and then maybe you go to work, and then potentially at lunch or at your breaks, you can have another couple of 15-minute naps. So you sort of add up to a couple of few hours throughout the day, but you're filling that fuel tank. I like to, so if I give you an idea of myself, I like to follow a routine. Like if I've got a night shift that I'm preparing for, I'll sleep normally the night before. And needless to say, a lot of the paramedics have night shifts the night before. So if we do that, if there's a night shift the night before, I'll come home and I'll go to sleep for maybe 3 hours, 3, 4. Well, as long as I sleep, I'll just wake up naturally. I won't have anything planned for that day. I have zero expectations other than to just make sure I'm prepared to get through the next night shift. If I get anything done, magic. I feel great. But I'll get up and I'll play drums. I'll make my food for the night. I'll make my smoothie for the night. I'll normally get to work. We'll have our first break, maybe around 9ish. So I'll have a meal then, and then maybe midnight, 1 o'clock, I'll be having part of my smoothie, and that's pretty much it. I'm a big guy. You don't actually need as much food as what people think. Whilst I am plant-based, I'm not totally against meat. What I am against is the amount of meat we've been told we need to eat to just remain healthy. And it's just not right. It's just not right. We don't need to eat anywhere near as much of those types of foods. And it's basically showing in everyone. Everyone's got belly fat. Everyone's got heart disease. Well, heart disease is on the rise. Diabetes is on the rise. We can't keep doing the same thing. Wasn't it Einstein who said that? It's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you keep doing your night shifts or your shift work the same way and you don't change anything and you want a different result, your pants line is going to increase and your sleep's going to be garbage and you're just going to be irritable and basically you're going to brighten a room by leaving it. So it's I think for shift workers, it's helped me. Recovery is the big one. I really bounce back quickly from shifts, night shifts or shifts. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. So yeah, it's really good tip. One is make sure recover, take care of your body. Just be kind to it. Don't overstress it. And then the meal prep before going onto your shift. I think that's a really good tip because rather than on the road buying junk from the convenience store, which you end up with a sausage roll or meat pie, which is even worse than not eating. It's just meal prep something really simple. You don't need much, a smoothie or a quick, simple, light plant-based meal.
Yeah.
And that'll last you the entire night.
Well, if I look at my if I look at my smoothie, I'll make a smoothie, and I basically make up about 2 liters. I'll have a banana, an apple, a kale, celery, I even put the avocado pip in there. It's just, and basically I blend this up and I'll make 3 different jars. One will be in the morning, one will be after I train, and then one will be for work if I use it. If I don't use it at work, I'll have it the following morning. So yeah, it seems to help. You get a lot of nutrition, you get a lot of nourishment, and if the people are going on about protein, then I add chia seeds and I add hemp seeds. So yeah, I get plenty. I'm not wasting away. I definitely not. So
wow,
yeah.
thank you for that. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time is flying fast. Can you tell me a bit about you and Laura have decided to share your journey regarding infertility? So can you tell me where is that at now?
Well, so it's because basically my kick in the pants to start looking for changes in my diet or in my lifestyle, my health, was testicular cancer in 2011. So on that journey, I've done it all. I've endeavoured to go on, right, I need to change. I did the blood type diet. I did ketogenic diet. I've done the paleo diet. I tried all these different things and learnt from each one. And now here we are when I meet Laura and we want to have kids. And basically, where's my sperm? They're sitting at the pub. I don't know where they are. but we need surgery to go and do that. And what we're doing is we've decided to share our story because we just thought, well, we've got an interesting one. And under Infertility Man, we're hoping to help, and loads of people are connecting with us, and it is a tough journey. It's a definite challenge to both parties, and I guess the biggest thing is making sure your relationship stays together. But I guess the reason why we're deciding to share is we felt there was a need there, and I think it helps us to have another focus other than just going, why can't we do this? Why can't we do it? Anyway, you know how far down the rabbit hole you can go sometimes, and this offers some positives, and we've been able to meet some great people, and our doctors are fabulous, and it's quite exciting. It's daunting, I can tell you that.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing the journey with the world. So how can people find you?
Well, I think our website might fire up soon. So that's infertilityman.com. And yeah, we've been trying to do it on Facebook and Instagram. And I believe Laura's helping out with Twitter as well. So YouTube is there. And yeah, geez, don't talk to the old man about it. God. But yeah, the social media side of things, that's the techie. Laura handles that and is amazing at that. So
great.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we include the links in the description and the subtitles below.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And then I have one last question for you, and is
All right.
So the Health Formers podcast is all about how we can reach and impact as many people as we can around the world to join us on this plant-based healthy journey so they can take care of their life. So do you have any health heroes out there that you know that you can help invite and be a guest on our podcast?
Oh, I definitely know a few people. I reckon I actually think I could probably take your podcast international. I'm going to have to touch base with a few people, I think. I do have a couple local, so I'll have to get back to you with that. But yeah, definitely, I believe I can help you out with that.
Well, thank you so much, Jon. We'll definitely stay in touch.
Yep.
All right. So if you enjoy listening to our podcast today, remember to share this with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, or if you know anyone who's a paramedic or who works night shifts, no matter what type of job they're in. If you think that will help from today's advice that Jon has given, please share this with them. Share the love and share the health. And for you, Jon, we have a special sign-off slogan for our guest, and that is, you need to say, live healthy, Live happy. Ha 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 ha. Laugh it in your own style.
All right. Live healthy. Live happy. Ha 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 ha.
Live healthy. Live happy. Woohoo! Thank you, Jon.
Yeah.
Thank you so
See you
much.
later, Lucy.
See ya. Welcome to 开始就讲错。Welcome to Health Farmers Age of the Plan Podcast. Sports enthusiast. Sports enthusiast. 哇，肌肉没了。No more. Haven't been working out recently, so lost my muscle. Assembling heroes to empower a universe of healthy and happy plant-based life forms, one bite at a time. He's excited. Any minute now. He should be here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Jon.
Let me see if these will work.
You're like on the vertical side. I have to talk to you like this.
Oh, am I? Oh, wow. But anyway, how are you? It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm doing great. Yes.
How does that look?
Yes. Perfect.
All
and
right.
I love your background.
Okay.
Today is the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Boss. Yeah.
Welcome to Health Farmers Age of the Plan Podcast. Hello. Yeah.
There we go. That's much better. Hang
Yes.
on. Let me see. Is that? Hang on. Let me see if I can get this a bit better. There we go.
Yeah. So nice to finally meet you.
Yeah. Fabulous.
And when Derek told me how you're paramedic and you're into like health and like sports and then you sent me like your profile about all these like foundations you're supporting. I'm like, wow, how do you do all this? And you're paramedic and you're healthy at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because of being healthy that helps me cope with the shift work, especially seeing as I'm casual as well. So I'm casual and.
Okay.
I don't really get my shifts any more than a week or two in front. If at all, I might need to work a night shift that night. So if I'm going to be able to go, I need to be able to, one, just prepare some quick easy food. Two, just be able to have the energy to be able to go. And then obviously it comes back to routines and being able to be rested. So you can do a night at the drop of a hat or things like that. So there's loads of considerations,
That's great. Yeah. Part of today's podcast, I want to try and get our views. Like, what would you tell all the paramedics or the medical staff out there to take care of their body?
Yeah,
from
I
your
think that's a
perspective,
great idea.
I think that'd be a really good thing for you to share, coming from like your background.
Because I do have quite a low.
You do.
Voice.
You do. Or maybe I can go for the low voice too and be like this.
Or maybe actually, that's probably better.
I can do either this or this. Are you actually like mentors on those groups or coaches on those groups? Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. So one of them is the camp quality is one of the it deals with kids with cancer.
Yeah.
And Green SuperCamp, that's youth. So they do pre-teen and teens, and then Magic Moments is teens, and Tony Robbins. I do the adults as well, but the youth organisation is for the teens. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the flywheel from Life Wealth?
Flywheel. From Life and Wealth, yes.
So I'm using the digital version of the flywheel. So the flywheel will
Oh,
answer
really?
questions. Yeah.
Oh. And what are your stipulations
So
for the podcast?
So for me, it's like my podcast, the theme is like healthy, plant-based lifestyle journey that's a main theme.
Yeah.
So the person needs to be in some sort of plant-based lifestyle, like minimum 70%, or they could be a beginner, but they're on this journey. They're going plant-based, or they could be entirely vegan. It doesn't matter, but they're living healthy, consciously, and then whatever their field of expertise is. Because it's not only just about eating. It could be you're an expert in meditation, yoga, and for you, you're more in sports, paramedic, like different angles to create that spark. So that's where every episode has different themes. So there's a consistent theme of where people share their plant-based journey, but then they add their field of expertise to it. And that's what makes it really interesting. I really like how you're so open about sharing. Yeah, and I really hope that I like your style. I hope your style will reach definitely your parts about the tips on the paramedic stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's loads of little hacks that I've got, or little things that they just help me turn up and be safe and obviously bounce back. So that I'm not a grizzly bear with Laura when I finish a night shift, or I'm not, you know what I mean? Like Yeah. I think it's important. I really appreciate you having me on. So.
No, really, I super appreciate your time. Like you mentioned that you have another shift coming up, so I hope this is not affecting with your routine or anything.
No, tonight's good. I'm working Friday, Saturday though. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I get another night's sleep. I've
good.
Found some melatonin, so I'm about to just put myself into a coma, I think.
Wow, after having the dinner that Laura's made, the falafels or what?
I gotta say, now don't feel bad, but she was like 5 minutes off having the dinner ready. And I said, Laura, we're not going to make it. And I said, she goes, you can eat it. And I went, no, I want to really enjoy this. So it's on hold. I can see it.
You can smell it?
I can smell it.
Oh,
I can smell it.
Can I have a look?
It's in the oven.
So I've started my Health Formers business. And what I'm doing is I'm assembling health heroes to provide services to help people to go on this plant-based lifestyle journey. Yeah. And what I'm focusing on is providing recipes, cooking classes that are focusing on sweets or Asian fusion dishes because of my craving for sweets. And then my background as an Asian. So these are the recipes I'll be providing, and cooking classes or cooking recipe books eventually. And I'm going to be working with Derek on that one. So that's really exciting. Yeah. Thank you, Jon.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. And I look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Yeah, you can do it. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
See ya. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.